Alright guys, let's do the daily update. We got Bitcoin above the weekly resistance that we've been looking at for the past week or so. We've gotten above that, and we've gotten above this resistance trend line that I drew yesterday and shared in the Discord. So we had a little bit of a rejection. We've gotten above that, and now I'm expecting to gather support here before we start heading up. I'm going to go ahead and take these green supports off down here. These were just areas that we were looking at if this wasn't going to hold right here, and we we're going to break down further. Currently, this is looking like we want to head up. Part of my reasoning behind this is if I go over to Ethereum, Ethereum's kind of pulling us up right now because Ethereum has somewhat of a similar structure. It had a parallel channel as well, something kind of like that. If you don't put the wicks right on there, it's very close to a parallel channel here that we've coming out of, and we've gotten above this resistance right here. And now, to me, it looks like Ethereum is going to break these highs right here. I just don't see any other way around it. It's just very bullish. It looks very similar to the pattern that I had showed a couple times in these daily update videos on Bitcoin. If you look at this, just kind of keep that picture in your mind, and then we'll go back over here and I'll show you from 2019 that I've showed the past couple weeks here. See how that's a similar structure. Parallel channel like that. Gotten above this resistance, we get above the prior high, and then we continue higher. So that's where I think we are on ETH. And so I think that as long as ETH is very bullish like that, I think it's gonna naturally draw Bitcoin up, and I think Bitcoin's gonna play a little bit of catch up here because ETH, in relation to this current pattern on Bitcoin, ETH is like somewhere right here already, like getting ready to make that push up, whereas Bitcoin's lagging behind a little bit. But we've gotten above this resistance right here, and so that's what I'm looking for, is for this to hold as support, and then obviously this weekly to hold as support, because if I take all this off and we go back out to a weekly, you can see that we've gotten a nice bullish close on that weekly candle yesterday right here. So we had a long wick up. It almost looks like I don't know what the name of that candle is, but it's definitely a bullish candle that you'd want to see, because you have that long wick and then it closes bullishly green, meaning that the bulls pushed it all the way back up, and it got us above that. I'll put these back on here. It got us back above that weekly resistance right there. And so the new weekly candle is now starting to form, and I expect that to start pushing up here. So I'll bring this back on here, and we'll go down to back to the lower time frame here. So what I'm looking for today is, if we're going to push up, kind of hard out of here. Let me go to a 4-hour. If we're going to push up kind of hard right here, you know, you got these prior highs back here that we need to get above to flip market structure. We've already broken the trend line, like I said, so that's a good start. But you can also pull the fib from the B down to the C here, which I don't know exactly where that bottom is. Okay, I got it on there. Right to the C, and you can see the 0.5 right here. And we also have a 618. So I've kind of roughly drawn this little squiggly just to show that we could get a rejection at the 0.5, retest the trend line, come up to the 618, get a rejection, and then start to make our move up. And so that's kind of what I'm looking for here, just some kind of like stair-step grind until we can finally get some explosion out of here. And maybe we don't really start moving on Bitcoin until Ethereum really starts moving. So we'll just have to wait and see. But we just need to play this right now as resistance at this zone. As you can see, this prior high and the 0.5, you have somewhat of confluence there, and then back here you have prior highs and the 618, so we have resistance there as well that we'll need to get above. And I think once we get above this resistance around 11,900 to 12,000, I think that's really when we start to see some acceleration in Bitcoin. I'm currently long. I got into a long around 11,006 something right in here. Once we had that nice green candle up above weekly resistance, we retested and we started coming off of that. That's when I got in. So I'm in currently with a stop, you know, just below the weekly resistance. And as this moves up, which is looking like we're getting a push right now to that 0.5, as this continues to move up and we keep getting new support, I'll move my stop loss up. And so that's how I'm playing this over the next couple of days to a week or so. And I think that's pretty much it for today. Just keep an eye on these levels right here at 11,800, possible rejection to gather support again around 11,700, and then resistance at 11,900 to 12,000. That's going to be a strong resistance if we can get through that, then I think we'll start seeing a lot of momentum. So I'll see you guys next time.